Hello there guys, my name is Patricia Bright. You are over here on The Break. I hope you are doing well. At this point in time, I've made it. I have made it. I have been working for myself for the last, let's say, 8 years. Like literally 8 years I've been working for myself. Can we clap? Can we clap? I think they say that 80% of businesses fail within their first 5 years. It is hard out here in these streets to work for yourself, to be a quote unquote boss babes. I've made a lot of mistakes on the way. Like honestly, like it's not been an easy road. There's so many things that I know that I've done incorrectly in the process, but also things that I know that I've been able to learn from entirely. So I thought today I would do a video like giving you a little bit of a summary, a little bit of breakdown when it comes to thinking about things when you're working for yourself. I'm gonna deep dive and take you into like some of my back end. I'll show you some of my invoice management stuff. I'm gonna show you all the kind of stuff that nobody really shows that much of, that you have to think about when you are self-employed. And also to let you guys know, Team Break have put something amazing together, which is far more extensive than this video, which is the ultimate guide to working for yourself. They've picked my brain, I've dumped all the mistakes that I've made, and really put something to give anyone who's thinking about either freelancing, starting something small, earning some money on the side, but doesn't know where to start, the steps that they need to actually begin working for themselves. I wish I had something like this when I wanted to be self-employed. I wish there was like steps that I could take to know what to get right. And a lot of the time, it isn't just getting the clients and making the money. It's the admin, it's the email management, it's the working with the other people, it's the invoice management, it's the VAT registration. All these other things are the things that stop people from actually being able to run a business effectively. And I think more information should be available so people can make the right choices. So you can catch the ultimate guide to working for yourself. I'll have a link in the description bar below and you can download that now if you want to. I've made it. I'm so excited, and the fact that I can still work, like, it's crazy to me, because when I first started being self-employed and working for myself, I had no clue what the hell I was going to do or how the hell I was going to make it work. So one of the first things that I think is really important for anybody who's thinking about working for themselves, which is incorporation, right? And it's really important to look at how you're going to incorporate and why you need to incorporate. And this is so that you are in the ether, according to the law, running things the way you need to run them. This also provides you protection when it comes to taxes, but also protection when it comes to legal obligations as well. There are many different ways to incorporate. You might need a partnership company, you might need a limited liability company, you might need an S Corp. It is one of the first steps when it comes to running your own business, incorporation, because this sets you up as a separate legal identity and gives you protection in the long run. I did not do this in the beginning, and this is why I had some of these tax issues, people. My tax issues, I've shared them before. I had to pay the tax man a lot of money that I didn't want to pay him. Incorporation will also be the foundation for you setting up a financial bank account, also being able to invoice effectively, also to minimize your tax payments, but also of course within the remits of the law. Incorporation will actually impact your accounting ability. It's like the framework before you actually build on top of anything. Get incorporated. The next thing that I think was really important was to set up a space physically. Listen, physically, emotionally, and mentally, you need to be in the right frame of mind and the right space to be able to work for yourself. This isn't just something that you do on your table, your kitchen table in front of the TV with everyone running out. Not everybody has the ability to, of course, hire an office and, have this perfect situation. But what you might want to do is get a little IKEA desk that faces the wall or faces a window that no one is allowed in. Separating your space and ensuring that you have a place to go to, which is literally about work mode, which is actually about business mode. Trust me, if you're putting £1,000 or £2,000 or £10,000 to start something, it's not a game, it's not a joke, it's not a part-time hobby situation. No, if you want to work for yourself, you need to ensure that you have a space that works for you, but also tells other people that are around you, I'm here to work. I'm here to run my business. I'm here to work for myself. Digital set up. Wow. I mean, the games and the times that we're in right now are very, very different. Being set up digitally will set you up effectively in the long run. I cannot explain how essential this is. Now let me try and explain digital setup, and I'll show you my back end. Digital setup is basically being really organized, because by the time you've got 14 projects, you've got 8 clients, you've got videos, you've got files, you've got documentations, you've got imagery, you've got emails coming in, you've got invoices, you've got POs, you've got a bunch of different paperwork and lots of different clients you're working with. If you're not set up, you are going to crumble under the load. And that's hopefully because you become really, really successful. But if you don't have a digital organization, honey, it is time to be organized. For instance, we use Google Drive and we also use Trello. It's a great way for us to communicate what's going on where. Okay, so it's easy for me to say what to use, but I feel like I could show you how I actually use some of these tools. So here we have my Drive. I love Google Drive, especially as a business owner. It shows me what is really important and what's happening. I've got a bunch of different folders. If you go inside, say for instance, my company folder, it's really organized from what some of the team are doing, from the break, from another brand that I have, to my own personal stuff as well. So if we go into the break, this is my channel and some of the stuff that I'm expanding out of it, and my Instagram page. You'll see that these folders have been organized meticulously. Social media, we've got the products that we have coming out in the pipeline. Sign up down below if you're interested in products. We've got schedules, learning, we've got all the information regarding our website. It's great, I can't lie. I love having stuff like this. I'm not going to go through every single folder that I have bit by bit, but what you'll see is that they're all organized, and this is so that my team know what to do, know what to work on, where to find things, but also I can provide a customer or some kind of stakeholder what they need when they need it as soon as possible, without being like, I don't know where that is. Being organized and having your drives or your folders set up in order is genuinely part of business. Okay, so this is clearly a more obvious aspect when it comes to working for yourself or running a business, which is getting clients, particularly if you are a freelancer kind of character or a person who wants to book jobs and you are the face of the job, right? And this is something I had no clue about. I didn't know anything about personal branding or creating an image or creating a persona to actually sell myself and to use to put myself out there. So I actually ended up, I don't know how I even stumbled on it. It was someone else who told me about someone else having a media pack. I did not have a media pack. This was what I needed within my business. But I think if you're a video editor, you need some kind of portfolio or a way to present what work or projects you do. People want to see what you do. People want to see what you've done in the past, and people want to know how much it costs, honey. You got to put your rates in there so they can make informed decisions. But putting something together, be that a physical portfolio or physical piece of paper or physical book or a digital portfolio, is important if you are thinking about working for yourself. How do people know what you can do? How do people know what you can do? And that might mean just having an amazing social media place. That might mean having your Instagram on lock, that it all looks together. It shows what products you have. It shows what services you have. It shows what you can do. You showcase your work in a way that is consistent and representative of yourself. This is something you can definitely do on social media, but it's also quite important to take it to the next level. There are lots of other ways to put yourself out there, and I can't get into them all right now, but I used to do speaking gigs. I used to talk on panels. I used to do a bunch of things just so that people would see me. I'd be like, hey, I'm Idrisha, like shake hands and talk to people. You also want to think about referrals as well. And of course, using platforms such as Fiverr, Upwork, LinkedIn. There's a number of ones out there. The more you spread your wings, the more you stretch your neck, the more work you do, the more likely you are to obtain more clients. Okay, this is a bit you guys are gonna love and where I'm gonna get nosy and I'll show you what I do. But the next thing is managing payment, managing invoices, and just general paperwork in general. I was so bad at doing this. I didn't have an invoice template. And this is back in the day, guys, okay? Like we grown at this point in time. But I was terrible at managing the invoices, chasing up for the money. I always felt not like embarrassed to like ask people like, where's the money? Who's embarrassed about asking for my money? Please run me my check. Like, run me my check nowadays. Like, no, pay up. I've lost too much money to be coy. No. It's one of my favorite pieces of software when it comes to sending out invoices, creating invoices, following up, recognizing where people are who owe me money. So as you can see, I'm waiting on £110,000. What the hell? And when it says older, this is because these invoices are overdue. But I love that I can see how long they are overdue by. I can see the amount that I am owed. Okay, I'm not going to get too much into accounting and numbers and how this works because this is not what this video is about. But if you want me to talk you through how Xero works, give me a thumbs up. Maybe I'll do it. But what it does, it basically pulls from like my bank account, it pulls from the invoices, and there's an action of reconciliation. This is done by my accountant or by a bookkeeper to make sure that everything is reconciled and that all the numbers match up. Now, some people have things like a budget when it comes to their personal budget. Within your own business or when you work for yourself, you need that same level of granularity to be able to make right decisions. When it comes to working for yourself, one of the biggest issues that you can have is cash flow. You might have money coming in, but it might be coming in far later than when you actually need it to do something today. So imagine someone's going to pay you an invoice in 3 months of £5,000, but your camera breaks down and you want to do another project today, but you can't afford to buy a new camera because you've got to wait all the way till then. These are real life issues. So I also reconcile my different bank accounts, my PayPal. I can see how much is in my PayPal account. What I absolutely love is that I'm able to make automated invoices. I can write the activity, I can write what's owed. So let's do this here. Let's do a test. It says Rainbow Bakery sold 3 of your cakes and it cost me £4,000. Yeah, imagine £4,000 for a cake, right? Then it also adds tax automatically for us. It also automatically adds my VAT. I don't have to try and calculate the VAT. I'm able to send this invoice. I can approve it. I can now preview that invoice. Gosh, this is my really old invoice format. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of private information in here, but this is an invoice that I'm able to generate from my company with my logo, with my branding, everything. So off the back of that, I can create an invoice. It's really easy to complete. It includes that, and it's also automatically tracked as well. And I send it off to the client. I have the dates and times in there. If people are late, I receive a reminder. This is such an amazing tool. I absolutely love Xero when it comes to sending and creating invoices and managing cash flow. What is really valuable in this, that all of this information translates into management accounting information as well as financial accounting information. So I can produce my balance sheet, which is actually used for financial accounting. You can actually produce your own financial statements. If you're someone who can't afford an accountant or use their services, if you have software like this, you're able to actually produce the reportings that you legally are obligated to do. But for me personally, I do have my accountants to make sure everything is tip top and all together. But I love being able to see how well I'm doing this year in comparison to, say, a previous year. I can see all my assets, all my liabilities, all of my equity in a way that is really important. I can see my profit and loss from a monthly basis. I can see my gross profit, my net profit, and a lot of the information that you need when it comes to creating financial accounts. It's literally auto-populated on your behalf. It's insane. Off the back of this, I'm also able to complete VAT returns and a number of different legally required financial obligations or financial reporting obligations. Now, I do have my accountant do this. My accountants log into my Xeros and they do most of my reporting for me. But if you're someone who doesn't have the tools to do that, software like this is amazing. Knowing where your numbers are going, who's paying you, when they're paying you, and providing financial accounts is essential when it comes to business. Because at the end of the day, if you're working for yourself, it's because you're trying to make a living. So make sure that is being managed effectively. Managing payments and that process is actually an essential part of working for yourself. Not everybody loves admin, but everybody loves being paid, and putting a process in place is essential. Talking about managing a finance and accounts, it's also managing contracts. This is something that has Whew. And I don't know if this is probably if you're a little bit more further ahead in your business, and it does really depend on what business you are in, but making sure your contracts are tight is important. I spend a lot on attorneys and lawyers because I've made financial mistakes, I've made contractual mistakes that have left me in the lurch, have left me to litigation risk, that have left me to being sued. It's not cute, it's not pretty. I have a lawyer who looks through all my contracts. I didn't always have a lawyer. I couldn't always afford a lawyer. It can cost anywhere from £200 to £400 an hour for them just to put eyes on a contract. And now there are some contracts I don't send through to a lawyer because I'm so good at looking at for particular terms, such as in perpetuity, such as intellectual property ownerships, in terms of distribution. I've become very versed in learning where the power lies in a contract, but there is so much security in having a lawyer who can look through it. And if you can't get a lawyer, ensure that you have terms written on paper somewhere. Don't ever do stuff just on like, okay, he said he would do it. Like, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work and it's too risky. Even if it's in an email and they agree to an email, that can be contractually binding. So make sure that anything you're writing to someone or they're writing to you is what you need, because these can be used in a court of law. The final thing I think is really important to think about when it comes to working for yourself is being able to pivot. And the reason why you need to pivot is because business changes. What people want is changes. What consumers want changes. What your customer want changes. And there might be times where there's lots of money and lots of opportunity and you can't manage it all. And there might be times where it's as dry as a desert. But you have to be able to pivot and change as you need to without losing hope. As I said earlier on, I believe they say that 80% of businesses fail in their first 5 years. The stats might even be higher than that, but that's because a lot of people give up. It doesn't quite work out. But rather than giving up, it's really important to pivot if you need to. There are many people who are able to share with you the fact that they have failed many times over and over and over again. What the business may have ended up as might not be what it started as, and that is okay. Changing and pivoting and reacting is very important, but also whilst keeping the same core of what your business or what you planned for yourself was or is. But even if you are pivoting, you want to make sure that the core of your business, the core of the reason why you started working for yourself remains the same, to make sure you keep the identity of whatever it is you do. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I know it was a little bit light, but also I think that these are the essentials that you want to start off looking at and then really take a deep dive. As mentioned, we have got the ultimate guide to working for yourself, which goes into a lot more detail. I have a link in the description bar below if you want to check that out. But in the meantime, you can stay over here watching free content. You can go over to the break and enjoy some additional content, share it with your friends, join the community. But in the meantime, I will catch you all later. Thank you for watching. Bye.